Welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. The first episode of our new season, Stairway to Serenity, is here. What are these steps? How do we even incorporate them into our daily lives? Well, there's no elevator to serenity. You just gotta take the stairs. Let's learn more.
Haryo, and greetings from Niagara Falls. Whenever you read or hear the word infinity, what comes to your mind? Share in the chat. Whenever you hear or read the word infinity, what do you think of? Expansion. My kids. Your kids are infinite responsibility. God, nature, math. My observation is we tend to externalize infinity to be some sort of state, to be some sort of condition. When we think of infinity, we think of space, yes? Infinite space. We think of movies like the Infinity Stones, Thanos, the Hulk, etc. The challenge with this type of thinking is that there is an impossibility between you and infinity. When we externalize infinity to be a state or a condition, we can't relate to this. I'm not space. I'm not a Marvel character. Our religion goes by the phrase Sanatana Dharma. And Sanatana Dharma in English means infinite, and the key word here is nature. Why nature is the key word? Because we can relate to that. The nature of a good orange is to be sweet. The nature of a good person is to be forgiving. Our nature is infinite. The more we can relate to this, the more this becomes our reality. The more we can relate to this, the more independent we become. If you think of infinity scientifically, it is that which depends on nothing. It is infinite, correct? The finite depends on so much, but not the infinite. Within Sanatana Dharma, there is a beautiful science called Vedanta. Veda means knowledge. Veda also means science. And anta means that which is inside, that which is authentic, that which is deep. So in Sanatana Dharma, the science that we're going to utilize is called Vedanta so that we can relate to Sanatana more. Right now, this is just a word for us. What's fascinating about Vedanta is we've all been exposed to this. As I look around at the 120 cameras, I know you've been exposed to Vedanta. Yet, our orientation is not clear, which is why this is not our reality. And so, our course is designed for us to become more oriented towards Vedanta, and particularly the words, the terminology of Vedanta. It's like if you watch a movie and you have a foreign movie and the subtitles are on, but there's a portion where there's a dialogue and the subtitles are not shown. Don't you miss out on that? Aren't you disoriented about that specific detail? So for some of us, Vedanta is like that. So our course is designed based on words, based on terminology. We're going to retrace our steps from how we have this sense of not being infinite to having the sense of being infinite. The way we're going to do this in a very detailed way is through a moksha pata. And this is going to be shown to you very briefly, a moksha pata. Can you all see this? Looks awesome, no? This is our table of contents. Great. And this will be shared with you in time. So we're going to move, as I said, we're going to retrace our steps from away from infinity to infinity. And we start with the first expression that is closest to finitude. We're farthest away from infinity, and that is avidya. We're going to take 100 steps. Our first step is avidya. In English, avidya means forgetfulness. More traditionally, the word that you come across is, what does avidya mean? What do you typically see in books and hear from speakers? And all of you are sharing ignorance. If I see someone and I say, you're ignorant. Ignorant about what? Is it politics? Is it sociology? Is it about culture? So when our teachers say avidya is ignorance, or I'm talking about forgetfulness, there has to be an entity. That entity is infinity. We have forgotten infinity. We are ignorant about infinity. And this is very logical because the only way not to feel infinite is if you're ignoring it, if you've forgotten it. Because you can't touch infinity. You can't make it, you can't break it. All we can do is forget about it, ignore it, yes. A common example of this is like the sun. If the sun is shining and all you're experiencing is darkness, why is that? Because you're looking away from the sun. You don't have to make sunlight. You can't break sunlight. All you're doing is looking away from it. So what do you have to do? Look towards the sun. In our case, look towards infinity. When we forget our nature, we feel incomplete. Did you feel that today? Was there some taint of incompleteness in you today? You may say no, but two of the times when we are most open are right when we wake up and right when we go to sleep. When we take all of our masks off, our clothes, our makeup, our gel, etc., that's when we become most open about, what did I do today? What was the purpose of today? In this sense of incompleteness, we go about doing. I have to do to become complete. Now think of this in terms of physicality. Imagine I came to your home and I held your wrists together. What will you do eventually? You'll just start moving your body a lot to be freed from me holding your wrists, correct? I do that with our kids sometimes. It's just me training them. in pursuing the infinite. This is just what naturally happens. Because I feel incomplete, I go about doing. And we do and do and do. And what happens to our bodies? Our bodies become tired. What happens to our minds? Our minds become frustrated. What happens to our intellect? It becomes dejected. Now that I've specified this, how many of you, by a show of hands, felt some sort of tiredness and or frustration and or dejection today? I see 90%. Some are too tired, so I can't put my hand up. They just virtually put their hand up. What are we supposed to do then? What we're supposed to do is inquire. Inquire into that which you're ignoring. Inquire into that which you're forgetting. Inquire into why you're doing. As soon as you inquire into why you're doing, you automatically become more intentional. Isn't that a buzzword now? I'm practicing intention. So inquire into what you're doing. Some of you are thinking about that right now. Inquiring into, I think I clicked the wrong box. I meant just Sunday, not Thursday. But even if you made that mistake, at least it's intentional, correct? So step one, we're going through 100 steps, avidya. It is forgetfulness. That's more traditional. In terms of practicality, what should we do? Inquire. And please note, I'm not saying enquire. En means external. Inquire. Step two, and I'll check you on this. If there's avidya, what else does there have to be? You can say it in Sanskrit, you can say it in English. Fear, Maya. I love it. See, you're just throwing all the Vedanta words you know. Brahman, Maya, Ishvara, Guru. If there's ignorance, there has to be Guru. Guru then. The next step is kama. And kama means desire. Kama means desire. And this is so logical again. Because I feel incomplete, what do? I come up with plans to complete myself. That's what kama or desire is. Planning. At the intellect level, it is called a desire. And the more desires you have, at the mental level, they are called thoughts. And at a physical level, they are actions. Clear? Kama's desire. My desires express as thoughts, they express as actions. Now tell me, what do you desire? And keep it clean, okay? There's younger people, more innocent people in this course. What do you desire? Some are lying by saying quietude, peace of mind, undisturbed sleep, to merge with the infinite. Are you telling me that's what you did today? You lived in such a way to merge with the infinite. Yes, I already told you to be open and respectful. I feel that what we desired today was pleasure, possession, and position. Pleasure, Oreo cookies covered in chocolate. Possession, cooler shoes than the person next to you. Position, we live in such a society driven by social media where there's an endless fight for position. You are right, as you've shared in the chat, you do desire, like I desire, quietude and peace. But we're actually not living for that. We are living for pleasure, possession, position. And since our actions are not creating peace, what do? We tend to think more pleasure, possession, position will make me peaceful. And so my desires become more crystallized towards pleasure, possession, position. You're all with me. My desires trigger thoughts, which trigger actions, which trigger thoughts, which trigger desires. This is an awful closed loop. What are we supposed to do to break out of this? Desire peace. We don't need pleasure. We do not need possession and position. What we do need is peace. And a way to start to facilitate this desire, as I've already mentioned, is inquire. Inquire into, will pleasure bring me peace? When we inquire, we will come to understand and appreciate only peace will bring me peace. And there's a very magical utility to inquiring into peace. Your lifestyle becomes simpler. If you find your lifestyle is unnecessarily complex, it is because you're not inquiring, you're not desiring peace. The way that Swami Tejomayananda shares this, simple living is a catalyst to high thinking. Yes, but it goes the other way too. The more high you think, the more simply you live. Trying to make this even more practical. If someone comes and teaches you, don't have desires, that is not going to work. Instead, change the texture of your desires. Instead of desiring helping yourself, desire to help others. I'm reminded of a Chinese proverb that I have heard. Many of you have heard this too. You can share the answers in the chat. I'm again requesting you to keep matters clean, okay? What is the best way to be happy for 1 hour? Share in the chat. What is the best way to be happy for 1 hour? I see a lot of sleeping. I see a lot of useless students who didn't write satsang with Vivekji. Yes, the Chinese proverb does say sleep. What is the best way to be happy for a day, for 1 day? To be in the present, satsang, play sports. That's correct. It is to, I can't think of the right term, but sport. We'll just go with sport, which means go for a hike. Matters like that. Leisure. What is the best way to be happy for a month? That's right. All of the married people are saying, get married. And everyone who's writing this, and all of the people who are not married are really thinking hard, is this a marriage enrichment workshop? The answer is to get married. What is the best way to be happy for a year? For a year. It is to win the lottery, inherit a fortune. When I share this proverb with those who are younger, like high school students or kids, what is the best way to be happy for a year? Get divorced. So logical in their thinking. It is to inherit. You know, you can, with money, you can buy newness, but it becomes old after a year. And this is all a build-up for what is the best way to be happy for a lifetime. That's right. Serve others. Help others. If we want to move from avidya to infinity, we have to understand and appreciate these words and these feelings and grow. Now, quickly, I'll introduce the third word and then we'll begin our discussion. You tell me first, if there's kama or desire, what else must come from that? action, anger, attachment. You all saw the Mokshapata, didn't you? It is kama, raga or attachment. Raga in English means attachment. In our Upanishads, and some of you have become eligible for the Upanishad course, what is described is our hearts have 3 knots in them. They make us feel small. Those knots are known as avidya. We've covered that. Kama, we've covered that too. The third is known as karma or action. You're all with me? However, there's almost one more, and that's what I'm going to focus on right now. If there's karma or an action, what else will that karma or action create? What will it create? What will it produce? Results, or a phala. Phala means result or fruit. We get attached to what action brings. The karma phala. That's what facilitates our attachment. Because we feel incomplete, we're doing to be complete. And this is so ignorant or illusory because we project completeness onto these results. We project completeness onto articles, beings, circumstances. As an example, how many of you right now, your friends or your family, they are covertly or overtly judging you for being in this course? By a show of hands. A lot of you. I know that they're judging because they think that you're projecting completeness on this course, but aren't they doing the same thing? They're projecting completeness by not being in this course. It will come through nachos. It will come through TV. It will come through sleeping in. It will come through traveling. This is all a projection. Projecting is a dangerous way to live. Please be focused and careful as I share this. Projecting is a dangerous way to live because when I project my completeness onto some article, some being, some circumstance, deep down, I know that article, being, circumstance will change. So what emotion comes from attachment then? As I'm thinking, this is going to change, this is going to change, this is going to change, I feel fear. That's right. Anyone who feels fear, anxiety, the source of that, is attachment. And when this article, being, circumstance does change, then what emotion comes? And some of you have already shared it, anger. That's right. If there is anger in our lives, it is because there's attachment in our lives. What is attachment? It is projecting completeness. So what are we supposed to do? Practice quietude. Practice quietude. The more quiet your mind becomes, the less you project completeness outside of you. Just think of it. When your mind is quiet, do you label people as much? But when you're cranky, even if someone is most noble, don't we label them? They're losers. This practicing of quietude is called viraga. Viraga. This word will come again. I'm only introducing it to you. And the fulfillment of quietude is silence. Our silence retreat registration will begin next week. The fulfillment of silence is quietude. Sorry, the fulfillment of quietude is silence. In Sanskrit, this is called anuraga. Anuraga. So viraga means I don't depend on any article, being, or circumstance. Anuraga means love. I love infinity. That's what I depend on. And just for your reflection, Shurpanakha. Can you all show me Shurpanakha? Show me. Yes. The one who has vicious nails. She's an icon of raga. When she sees Sri Rama and Sri Lakshmana, she wants to marry both of them, despite the fact that Devi Sita is there. Sri Lakshmana is the icon for viraga. And Sri Rama is the icon for anuraga. You reflect on that for now. I will connect these dots in our next class.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/cmniagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love, be.